Thank you very much, Kelleher. Look, just to say at the outset, look, we welcome the opportunity again to express, I suppose, solidarity with everybody else in this House in terms of trying to ensure that there is a united voice in defending Ireland's integrity in this whole process. And I think that Government and the Parliament itself has a key role to stay united in that particular aspect and focus. Of course, within that, we're as entitled as anybody else when we believe there is a need to highlight a deficiency or inadequacy in preparedness, that we do that as well. But at the very least, this House has been very supportive of Government's effort and the Parliament in general in terms of the approach that's been taken. And the European Union, of course, has expressed absolute solidarity with us in terms of the backstop, the need to ensure that we don't have any form of physical infrastructure in terms of border, customs inspections, lack of movement of people, goods and services on the island of Ireland. Of course, expressing the solidarity and ensuring that the backstop is a part of a policy, the next thing is how do we get to a stage where the United Kingdom can accept the importance of it on the island of Ireland. And when you look at the debate over the last number of days in Westminster and the fact that the vast majority of the people have expressed a view that a no-deal Brexit is something they want to avoid. But we now need them to be firm in their approach and for them to publish their views as how best they can proceed without avoiding a hard Brexit. And of course that will need leadership, not only from the Prime Minister May, but from all leaders of political parties and the body politics of Westminster itself. We need the middle ground within Westminster to take ownership of this. Otherwise, they will lead their own people collectively over the cliff, and in doing that, they will have chain-balled us with them and could have a very damaging impact on the social, cultural and political landscape of this island itself. I've listened to some of particularly the Conservative MPs in terms of their view about the backstop and their dismissing of the issue and the importance of there being no physical infrastructure on this border. And it has to be re-emphasised on a continual basis. We need to ensure that there's no physical infrastructure whatsoever, because it will have a very damning impact on the island of Ireland itself, as I said, both from a commercial point of view, from a cultural point of view, from a social point of view, and most importantly, from a political perspective as well, over what we've achieved in terms of the Good Friday Agreement and what has flowed from that in terms of peace and a normalisation as best we can from where we had come in terms of the difficulties and the troubles and the carnage in the north for many, many years. So it is important to put that on the record and to explain to many MPs who seem to dismiss it that it is hugely significant. And in my view, they have an obligation as a people and as a parliament to uphold the Good Friday Agreement. That is an agreement signed by two sovereigns to bring about peace, a lasting peace, hopefully. And anything that diminishes that undermines that particular agreement. And they should be reminded of their obligations on that as well. Of course, I understand the difficulties that Theresa May is and the dependence that she has on the DUP. But as Deputy Brannock highlighted, it is not too long ago that we had people dying on the island of Ireland, and particularly in the northern part of the island, over political views. And some of the people that are now indicating that they don't view the backstop as an essential component are people whose party in previous times would have been, and some of the supporters would have been, protagonists in the political impasse and the violence that flowed in the north. These are realities, and it is not so long ago, as Deputy Brannock has outlined. So from that point of view, that is the importance. From my perspective, and just in terms of trade, we need to very quickly, Minister, address the issue of the logistics in the event of there being a logjam on the south of England in terms of ports and the capacity. We need to ensure that we have roll-on, roll-off, and that we can access additional ferry capacity for roll-on, roll-off in the event of there being a hard Brexit and huge difficulties in logistics in terms of using the south of England as a land bridge. So I would urge that you would use Enterprise Ireland and all the other agencies to be as prepared as is possible to have additional capacity identified in terms of roll-on, roll-off ferries. Because I do not believe that what we have there will be able to transport all the trucks from Rosslare, from Dublin and elsewhere to the continent directly if the South of England land bridge becomes an impasse. So from that perspective, I would urge that you use all available information and the agencies compiling that information to see where they can locate additional shipping if it is required.
Thank you, Deputy.